Okay, got a new tail motor and a new main motor. I haven't gone brushless yet on this because I got so many spare brush motors that it'll be a waste even bother going brushless right now. Plus all the enhancements I did on this, especially the 3000 milliamp battery, will not fit on the brushless build. I would have to probably do some modifications for it to fit inside because it's actually wider than the space in here that's available. So if I do go with the brushless build, I would have to then try to find maybe a longer, thinner battery that's 3000 milliamps and then give that a whirl. So well, like I said, I replaced the new tail motor and I replaced the new main motor, so I'm gonna break them both in right now. It's raining and pretty ugly outside, so I'm gonna do this inside a parking lot, underground parking lot, so it should be cool. And it should be very noisy too, since we are down here. And since there's no wind, it's a pretty good test for the hovering. All right, let's get you plugged in. Okay, let's wind her up and see how that tail motor does. The lights on and off on this doesn't really work too much. A little bit of a pull. If I let go of the control, it's going forward and to the right. So forward I don't mind because I have this as a fast forward built, but let me adjust the pull to the right a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to manually trim it to the left a tad. Go ahead and reset the gyro. Come on, where's the control? All right, there we go. Let's see if the pull's gone. Okay, it's just going forward now. Good. If I let go of the control, it should just drift forward. Nice. Let's bring her back. Tail's doing good. Response pretty good. Bring it up a little bit. Perfect hover. Has a small tilt to the right still, but I can do some small adjustment to this wash plate, but again, it doesn't bother me too much. If I let it go, it should only go forward. There it is, I let go of the control. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Bring it back. It's tilting slightly to the right. So I might do some mechanical adjustments to it. Because of the fast forward, build, when I do spin, it tends to not stay still because I'm having to hold it back. But the responsiveness is pretty good. Oh, I forgot to put my timer on. Let me go ahead and grab my let me put my timer and grab my my battery alarm. It is a 3000 milliamp, but I don't want to go too crazy on that either. Alright, let me put about 7 minutes on that since I've been running it a little bit. 7 minutes 40 seconds. And let me go ahead and carefully grab one of my little beepers here. Let me put this up here. I don't want to bump it accidentally and cry. Alright, let's put you in. Alright, beepers in place. 2 lead means 7.4 type battery. I can imagine this thing on the 11.1. It'll probably burn out much faster, but that'll be kind of cool. Yeah, main motor is obviously very warm because there's no breeze in here, and we're just kind of hovering, so it will heat up a little bit, but that's what tests are made for. All right. But I can't turn off the lights, even though I got the new remote that has a light control. These lights always stay on. That's one of the flaws from the 913. Alright, let me do something since I'm indoors. I want to try some spinning. I'm going to manually trim back a little bit. See what it does. Oh, how weird. I manually trimmed it back and I got a pull to the left. Very interesting. Wow, I almost have it 100% back. It's definitely a fast forward build. Okay, right there I have it 100% back on the trim. It should be. Okay. Yeah, very interesting how the back affects the. There you go. No control. It's pretty much hovering itself. There you go, you see? Not touching the control at all. So even though this is digital trimming, it's not bad. I mean, once I do some manual trims, the setup is pretty neat. It's just flying itself right now. So I should be able to spin pretty easy without it trying to fly away. Woo! Yeah, much better. We didn't like the left too much, but not too bad. We bring her up a little bit, a little more power. Yep, flying itself, right there. full self-flight. Funny, me walking close to it, it made it move. Wow, that's kind of cool. Let me do that again. Let me walk away. Let me center it. Oh, I think there must be a little draft here. Let me move back. Yeah, it's pulling that way a little bit. It could be me affecting it. Let me see if I stand in front of it. Yeah, it's still moving forward. Take it back that way. Let me go opposite to see if there's a little bit of a gust in here. Yeah, it appears to be. Very minor, but there is one. See, it's like slowly moving backwards and forward here. I love it when things fly themselves. Right now we're in a tight space, so maybe the air bouncing from between the ground and the sides makes a difference on the flight. I'm walking behind it, so I guess just the breeze that's hitting against my legs is making it slowly move. That's awesome. This thing had a little GPS. Look at that. As soon as the wall cleared, I guess a small breeze tilted it to the left a little bit. Okay, right here there's no walls, so it should kind of try to guess what it wants to do. Look at that. Again, I'm not touching the controls. They're right here, right in front of me. That's flying itself. That is a beautiful thing. Check my time. Okay, we still got some time on the battery. Let me pull her back. And here the motor's probably going to overheat because no breeze, no nothing. I should have just took off the cover, but if I take off the cover, that slight weight difference will make a difference as well. Okay, I'm not going to walk behind it. I'm going to see if, I see the wall is pulling it. That's kind of cool. Let me take it away from the wall. Just kind of wants to feed the wall there a little bit. Look at that. Huh. Could be the motor overheating too. That makes a difference in how it behaves. Look at that. Cool. I'm happy. So, like I said, it's storming outside, so I'll give it its first flight after the new motors. It's a nice little slow break-in right here. Self-flying break-ins are nice. Come on. Sideways flying there. Pretty good. That wall definitely feeds it a little bit. Check out the turbo. How much bend it does. That's cool. I like that turbo mod. Okay. Like I said, on the trim, I'm going full back almost, and a touch to the right. That's a nice little hover there. Let me back away a little bit. The battery's lasting long. I wish I would have timed this in the beginning. Again, it's a 3,000 milliamp battery, so it lasts a good chunk of time. Walking the dog, no control. Alright. So far so good. I don't want to go too high. I don't want to hit those bars up there. The suction will take it even higher. Wanted to surf. All right. Let me check that motor. Actually touch the metal first before touching the motor. Yeah, because the whole body on these things had like a heat sink, and it is very, very, very hot. Ooh, I'm not even touching the motor, I'm just touching the body, and this thing is like extremely hot. So yeah, I'm done there. And the tail, ooh, extremely hot to the touch. So yeah, I think this thing is done. I'm not gonna run it, even though the battery still has more time in it. I'm not gonna overdo it. This is getting very hot. Go ahead and take off the beeper. And let me remove the face a little bit for those that hasn't seen this belt yet. You can see what I did. Again, with my modifications, I did a Nanotech receiver pack. It's a 3,000 milliamp, so it's a pretty large battery. You can see how much of space it takes up. It's actually pretty thick, so you can't shove it in here even after the brushless modification. So I would have to try to find something similar to this, but more thinner and longer. Because once you do the brushless mod on this, you remove the bottom motor, and then you have that whole space back here. That mod itself replaces this board and adds a new board that goes right under this one. So the spacing that you have for this battery is gone, I mean, completely. So you have to get something very thin and long. I mean, I'll have the space inside for it, but again, I prefer, I like this battery, I like this build. I mean, I might not go brushless for a very long time. I'll keep it brushed for a while. I like the way just the ease of brushes on these copters. They do overheat, but that's because I'm indoors, I mean underground. If I were to fly this outside in high wind, I'll go through the whole battery, and it'll be a slight, not so much heating, not so much overheating. Another thing you can also do on these is if you do these mods, fly without the cover. I mean, if you're confident enough that you're not going to crash it, strap everything down pretty good and just fly without the cover. Flying without the cover keeps the battery very, very cold. It keeps the whole board cold, and it keeps the motor cold because you're getting direct air injected in here, and it's a little more open. And the blades themselves are all for cooling. The only reason that you would use this if obviously you crash, you can damage it. The head itself does make a little bit of weight, helps for the flying, but I've flown it with and without, and it flies good anyways. I did, when I put the new motor in, I did add some heatsink to it, heatsink gel. It's like a paste. And I can tell it's working because this plate is very, very hot. If this plate was cold right now, then this thing obviously was not working. I've seen some mods on these. What people would do is that right on this plate, they would also glue or bolt on another heatsink. So then the blades, the cooling from the actual blades spinning will also keep it cooler. So instead of just a thin little plate that's just kind of sitting there brushing off, you can place a a thicker heat sink out here that helps dissipate some of the heat. So overall, you did good. Hovered good. It flew good in here in the parking lot. Now I'm just gonna test it in some real world situation. Push it hard, make it fly really tough. Like I said, it was a windy day today. I was gonna take it out anyways, even though it was windy, but just the fact of that rain that just keeps coming in, kind of scratched that idea. So this was, like I said, the WL Toys V913. I've had it for a while. It was my first fixed pitch. I've been modifying it throughout as long as I've had it. I think over a year now. I've done several mods of it. Crashed it about 3-4 times. Every time I crash it, I make it better. So it's doing good. I thought eventually I wasn't gonna fly it again. Ever since I got my Wakara 450 D01 collective pitch, but the collective pitch is fun. It's great. It's a good thing. But sometimes we just want to fly around and have some fun. Can't beat the fixed pitch. They're a lot of fun. So, all right.